Hello YouTubers, it's me, you and me too, and a big welcome from the Formula 64 for our first ever episode. This one is a two-parter, so make sure you stick around for the conclusion that will be coming out tomorrow. Well, you see before you the new Nintendo DSi XL. XL, of course, standing for extra large. Is it extra large? Actually, yeah, it's gigantic actually. But enough about that. Before you see the box, and that's what we're going to start off with. From the front, it's fairly plain, which is what Nintendo seems to be doing recently. They don't put much else on the box, it's the screen. You see there, it's 93% larger, the screen, than the DS Lite's. Almost double the size. That's huge! We got what it includes. We got the system wire, the styluses, the power supply, the rechargeable battery, the quick start guide, and the manuals. It's quite a sturdy box actually. I was surprised because normally boxes can be a bit tatty actually, but this one is quite well put together. I got the wine red DS, as probably guessed by the colour. Okay, let's open this thing up and see what we get with it. And there we go. Right. Okay, so first of all, we have this package full of little goodies of paper. These basically come with most DS's. We have the Club Nintendo membership pin, which will, well, it will give you extra points so you can buy things online using the Nintendo points. Or Star Points, as I think they're called. It's fairly useful. You get 500 with the DSi XL. We then get a small little leaflet about the Nintendo Help Service. And on the box, unlike what Nintendo used to do, where you had the games on it, you get a little booklet full of all the games, which is, yeah, it's quite nice to look through. You can choose some good titles there. We then get these small leaflets about health and safety, though I'm not sure what you can do wrong with a DSi XL. The quick start guide, but that's quite obvious, you just press the power button. And this is quite interesting, we have manuals for DSiWare. Yeah, manuals. Brain training comes pre-installed on it, which we'll be looking at in a bit, and the manuals, that's quite interesting. We also get the dictionary 6-in-1. That is very good, I'm very impressed by that. And finally we have the operating manual in all its glory, which is, well, it's very big. I mean, the amount of pages in there. I mean, the DSi XL is quite simple to use. I'm not sure why you need that many pages, but sure, okay. Right, we've had a look at these, now let's move on to what else is inside the box. Here's the rest of the contents of the box, and I've got to say it's actually quite disappointing. I remember with the original DSi I seemed to get a screen cleaner, a screen protector, headphones. I'm not sure where it's got it from, but I didn't get it here. The plug is exactly the same as the original DSi, so if you got that it will charge your XL quite nicely. There's no difference in the connector or anything. You can see it's exactly the same. Let's have a look at the big stylus. This is very nice. I much prefer it over the smaller stylus, which also comes with it. I'm not quite sure what this little bit at the end here is for. It doesn't make much sense because it doesn't fit in your pocket or anything, but it is much nicer to hold, especially with the bigger screens that you get there. So yeah, I can say I quite like that one. Now let's have a look at the console itself. Drag it out. There we go. Now, first of all, you're going to see it's very shiny, very, very shiny, and yeah, it's nice. It's very big, very, very big compared to the last one. It's got a matte finish on the bottom and a nice shiny finish on the top. Okay, so the original plan was to put my DSi XL in my Mario DS holder, but as you can see, it's way too big. It's a good example of how big it actually is. If you take, say, the old Lite, you'll see it fits perfectly. So if you want to get a Mario holder, have an old DS. So sorry Mario, looks like we're going to have to do this one on our own. And here we are, DS in all its glory, with its huge screens. Oh look, there's the camera. So what can we say about this? First of all, let's compare it to the old DSi, and you'll see how big the screens are. They're really big, but we can go one step further. Let's compare it to the Lite. Yeah, also very big. But how about the original? Look at that. They've grown so much from that to that. It's huge. Okay, let's have a closer look at the console. Now, first of all, I love the colour. It's great, and it's really nice. Second thing you're going to notice is that the speakers have changed again, as have the power button, which has grown a bit bigger, and I believe the start and select buttons have grown as well. The control buttons, they're exactly the same as before, no difference in size, but actually they feel perfect that way. I don't think I'd want them any bigger. If you flip it over, you can see that the camera is bigger on that side, but smaller there. And what else can we say? Oh yeah, it now has 3 hinge functions, so not 2, 3, which is also useful. This slot, the place to put a strap in, and the charger port goes there, exactly the same as I said before. Over here we have the SD slot, exactly the same as the eyes, very useful if you want to put on photos or music or something. And let's have a look at the smaller stylus. This one is pretty much exactly the same as the lights or the other eyes. The only difference is that it's slightly longer, see? And I believe it's also slightly thinner. So yeah, this hasn't changed much at all, but if we compare it to the other one, I still have to say that the other one is much nicer to hold. It feels more like a pen, so I prefer that one. Okay, let's have a look at what else we can do with this console. The first thing you're going to notice is that your DSi is quite low on power, so I suggest plugging it in. The menu is exactly the same as the eyes, but for those of you who own a light, let's have a look. See if we can lift up the DSi a bit more so you get a better look there. Okay, so it's a lot different. It's sort of like a Wii menu, sort of not. What have we got? We've got the DSi camera. You just take photos, it will display on the top. DSi sound, you can record things or listen to music. DSi shop, we can get downloadable titles. DSi download play, and you can download games and demos from the Wii, as well as many other things. If you have a look here, you'll see this section was exactly the same as the old DSs. I'm not sure why they didn't change that. If we move across, we've got Picture Chat, which is exactly the same. The DSi browser, it doesn't work on YouTube and things, but it's still pretty good. Flipnote Studio didn't come pre-installed, but I downloaded it anyway. Internet video, telling you how it works. The dictionary camera function. Let's have a look at that. I really like this here. This is very, very impressive. Basically, you can take a picture of a word, and then it will search it up for you. I just find that really quite cool. You can also write it in, so look at that, C, I don't know, P, and it recognises it quite well. Crab. No, I don't think so. So we'll just go back, and we'll have a look at the picture taking function. Okay, let's see if I can find a word to take a picture of. Okay, so we've got collection of Sonic Mega Collection box. Let's have a read. Now, this normally works and sometimes doesn't. I'm not sure if it will work or won't, so we'll have to wait and see. It does take a while to read, that's the only thing. Okay, so that didn't work. But it got quite a few of the words there, so if you press the power button now, you can go straight back to the DSi menu. It doesn't turn it off. It's great. You also get brain training. Now, this is exactly the same as the normal versions, they're slightly smaller, so I don't really have to go into detail of that, it's pretty much the same thing. I'm not sure why there's a German copy of the game on there, but no. You got lots of slots, lots and lots of slots to put things, so that's quite nice. DSi shop, you can get good titles there. Now, system settings, there's always a game that I like to play first on my consoles. I play it every time because it's kind of been a tradition with each DSi I own. It's also the remake of my favourite game. Now, this game's been out for quite a long time, so many people who own a DS now won't have played it. But I'm gonna say, I recommend this thing. You better stay tuned, we're gonna review Super Mario 64 DS.